let's do this. And the skirt I moved, all the black should be in the front, purple in the back with the cape.
Okay.
Got it? Okay, so why don't you go through that stuff. So I rewatched the movie to get a lot of ideas on costumes. And then what I do is I go through our loft, which is where we keep costumes from all the years of the shows. And then anything that I can't find up on the loft, we either buy a pattern and make it from scratch, or we run to thrift stores. So any sort of materials that we have, we try to use first. And then after that, we run around, go shopping, and make it work.
The hardest part of designing and creating costumes for me this year was that I didn't know how to sew. So coming up to the spring show, I started going to Mrs. Flanagan's after school beginners class. And with those 4th grade girls, I learned how to sew in straight lines. And so putting together the costumes for me was a totally new experience.
Well, it takes us approximately, I would say, about 4 months to actually produce everything that we design. The design process begins as early as the summer prior to the show, where we first meet and discuss how everything might look. And then in the fall, we have a big meeting where we present all of our ideas scene by scene in order to decide which props we need, which sets we need, what scenery we need for the characters.
Hi, I'm Mr. Cohen, and I run the stage crew and manage all the props, moving them from off stage and on stage, and making sure that they're all in the right place at the right time. It's a lot of work, and it's pretty hectic backstage. There's a lot going on to make everything that is on stage happen according to plan. And a lot of preparation and revising of our plan goes into that. We tape down where all the props need to go, and luckily we have Mr. Bob making everything, which has been in the works for weeks and months.
The spring show is coordinating the microphones with all the characters. I need to make sure that we have new batteries in the packs every night, and I make sure that the microphone is placed in the right position on their costume, and that can sometimes be difficult. Just to make sure that it's ready to go on when they are ready to go onto the stage.
A lot of pressure behind stage to get things correct. Clearly we want everything to be seen where it needs to be seen. Part of the pressure is trying to make the scene changes go quickly so the audience doesn't have to wait.
So to create the wizard, we did a few different things. We asked Mr. Gallo to come, and we put him behind a green, well, in front and behind a green screen to film just his face, and we had him moving in different ways, and then Miss Skelly was able to take his face and put it on a fireball. And then from there, we had a video, and we took the video and we put it through a projector and rear projected a screen so that you wouldn't see the projector and you would only see the wizard's face in a picture frame.
Something you may not know about the microphones is that each character has a special mic pack that is sewn into their costume, so it's hidden while they're performing on the stage.
Over the month and a half that we had for the Jitterbug rehearsals, we started slow with about 40-minute rehearsals throughout the day, and then we progressed and added even more dance elements when we had our 2-hour rehearsals after school.
So up in the sound booth, I control all of the students' microphones, the overhead mics on the stage, choral mics, and all of the music that is played, and any special sound effects that we may need. I have to find those and insert them in using the computer and the iPad up in the booth.
So I do all of the lighting for the show, which is all of the lights on the truss that hang out in the auditorium, as well as all of the lights on the stage. And in addition to programming those into different scenes, I also handle our intimidators, which are 6 lights that we have attached out in the auditorium that do all of the different colors. Each light has about 8 or 9 colors to it, and we have different gobos, which are basically light stencils that we can create different images, rotate them, and create different kinds of scenes such as the Witch's Castle, Wizard of Oz, and the Cyclone.
This class was probably watching their growth, watching them things that were inside of them they never knew existed, and watching them come out and grow and develop, looking at challenges and seeing how they see it as an opportunity to really find out a lot about themselves. That's always a wonderful surprise every year.
What's she done? Well, but lame from the bite on my leg.
You mean she bit you?
No, her dog.
Oh, she bit her dog, eh?
Yes. Professor Marvel never guesses. No, not Kansas. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Who, me? Why, I'm not a witch at all. I'm Dorothy Gill from Kansas.
I welcome you most regally.
But we've got to verify it's legally to see if she is morally, ethically, spiritually, physically,
Positively, absolutely,
undeniably, and reliably dead.
Oh, the elephant road. Eating my face, eating my field, and laughing my
She brings you good news, or haven't you heard? When she fell out of Kansas, a miracle occurred.
Why, if I had a brain, I could run over the hours. my fine lion friend.
My favorite part about being in the Wizard of Oz is watching the show, and the jitterbug is my favorite scene because it's a really fun dance number and the song is really cool.
My favorite part of being in the Wizard of Oz is being the lion because he's silly and funny and he jumps a lot.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is watching everything come together, from people having to use their books, from now being able to effortlessly say their lines.
Part of the Wizard of Oz is when someone's out, we all sing their lines and say their lines.
My favorite part about the Wizard of Oz is the songs. My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the lion.
Part of the Wizard of Oz is being a monkey.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz was our class number.
Part of the Wizard of Oz was the crow dance.
Part of the Wizard of Oz is the cyclone.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is being with my grade.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is all the costumes that you get to see everyone wear.
My favorite thing about the Wizard of Oz is the fancy shoes.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is when the doorman opens the door.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the optimistic voices.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the cyclone scene.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is when Dorothy gets to Munchkinland.
Part about the Wizard of Oz is working behind the scenes with all the students and faculty members.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is when Riley sings over the rainbow because she does such a good job.
Part of Wizard of Oz is basically the Winky Guards. No, I think they're pretty cool people when they march around.
The Wizard of Oz is being a munchkin.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is being a crow. Part of Wizard of Oz is a crow.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz would have to be the jitterbug number or the Somewhere Over the Rainbow reprise.
Wizard of Oz is when the scarecrow falls off his post.
Oz is that everyone knows each other's lines after rehearsing.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the opening scene.
The Wizard of Oz is when the Winky Guards enter down the aisle.
Part of the Wizard of Oz is when Matt performs his King of the Forest solo.
Part of the Wizard of Oz is when my cousin Andrew goes ee when she's a monkey. Part of the Wizard of Oz is when my cousin Gia comes out as a crow and goes caw. Part of the Wizard of Oz is being a winged monkey.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is when Vicente says "Boo scat" to scare away the crows. My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the jitterbug dance.
Part of the Wizard of Oz is the apple tree scene. The Wizard of Oz is when the winged monkeys attack the scarecrow.
Is when I'm in the play and I'm the best character on stage.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the wizard's floating head in the mirror.
The Wizard of Oz is when Hickory has to get them hogs in. Part of the Wizard of Oz is when the Tin Man gets its oil can. My favorite part in the Wizard of Oz is when Ryan sings his corner song.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the jitterbug.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is when I get to yell at the lion. I really like unleashing my rage at him. My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is acting like a monkey on stage.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is when the jitterbugs do their heel click.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is making the sets.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the Wicked Witch's laugh.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the first song that the lion sings.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the scene where I get to throw apples at Dorothy and the Scarecrow.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the Munchkinland scene.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz was the heel click and the jitterbug dance.
My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the King of the Forest scene where we all worked really hard to get it perfect.
My favorite part of Wizard of Oz is being a crow. My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is singing. My favorite part of the Wizard of Oz is the whole experience with my class.